This is Sunday, July the 4th, 1976, the bicentennial year. I'm with my grandfather and grandmother and my mother. I'm going to talk to my grandfather right now and let him start with his life when he was young and explain a few things about it. My grandfather, E. Frank Rader.
When I was young, I started out in hard work.
In what year did you get married?
1918.
Was you a farmer?
Yes, sir.
How'd you meet your wife?
I went to a public sale at her home there. They made sale of their personal property, and they was all in cahoot, and they divided up. I went to that public sale that day. That's where I met her.
And where was this public sale held?
That's her own home was.
And this was in Sure Grove?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Then that's what happened. I stayed with her and hugged her that night.
And then you all got married. How long did you go together before you got married?
For 4 years.
And then you lived back on the Raider farm?
Yes. Lived there for 12 years after we was married with my mother.
And how old was your mother when you got married?
I don't just know. She was up years some.
How old was she when she died?
I think she was about 86 years old.
And this is my grandmother, Beulah Rader, and she's going to say a few words now. She's standing beside his bed. Have you lived a happy life?
I certainly have.
You've been together how many years?
58 years.
58 years they've been together.
And we really had a happy life.
And you was born in Sugar Grove?
1 mile above Sugar Grove.
And what was your mother's name and your father's name?
My father's name was Frank Mitchell. My mother's name was Ella Mitchell.
And you had three brothers, and two sisters. And what was their names?
Eva Hoover. Eva, she married Boyd Hoover. Flora. James Luther Pitzenbarger. Walter. Alma Howdy Shell. And Dick Leona Rexroad. And Leo, he never was married.
We have learned a little bit about the life of E. Frank and Beulah Rader. And now we're going to ask them a few personal questions about the old buggy days. And we'll let my grandfather tell you a few things about it. When you went to see her, you had a buggy, right?
Yes. Yeah. I didn't at first. First I had to go horseback.
How long was it before you got a buggy then?
A couple of years.
Did you enjoy your buggy rides?
Sure did.
Where would you go?
All different places. When anything was going on, we'd go to church and to like that, lawn parties and wherever we wanted to go to, we had to go on with a horse and buggy.
Did you have a good horse at that time?
I had several good driving horses, but I had to rake them in myself.
Did your wife enjoy riding in the buggy with you?
She sure did, the way she used the whip.
Did she use it on you or the horse?
The horse to make it go faster.
You all had 2 children, and my grandmother will tell about them. Which one was first, and the oldest, and then the next, and so my grandmother will explain it.
Well, we had 2 children. Loretha was the first, and Carrie Luella the second. Now, Loretha was born in 1919, and Carrie Luella was born 2 years after, 1921. And, of course, we lost our baby, and it was hard to give it up, but God knows best in everything.
And what happened to the baby that you lost her?
She'd taken a whooping cough and pneumonia, but we couldn't save her.
So now you have one daughter living. She's living with you. Her husband passed away last year. You have 2 grandchildren, and what's their name?
Ernest Marshall Probst, Maggie Kyle.
And you have great-grandchildren, 3 of them, and what's their name?
Sherry Lynn, Dale, and J.W.
Now we'll talk about some of Pappy's younger days when he was a young boy. He worked on a farm, and then he went to the woods to work, so we'll let him explain it.
I was born and raised in an old log house. As soon as I got big enough and able to use the hoe, I had to go to the garden, the potato patch, the cornfield, hoe weeds.
Could you tell us something about your father?
My father used to drive a team, used to use an old tiny road wagon and haul goods to stores. I went with him more than one trip
Where would he go to pick these goods up for the stores?
to Harrisonburg.
And who was he hauling them for?
He hauled for J.P. Kaiser's store and Bowman and McClure factory.
How long would it take you to make the trip? How long would it take to go to Harrisonburg?
2 or 3 days.
And how long would it take to come back?
Well, it'll just take about 2 or 3 days for the whole trip.
Which way did you travel? You didn't go by Brandywine. Which way did you go?
We crossed Sugar Grove.
That's across Reddish Knob.
Yeah.
And would you camp at nights? Where would you camp usually?
I camped most anywhere on the road. We used to have a camping place out in the little farm.
And when you got into Harrisonburg, what was it like? Was there many people over there then?
Oh, not like this now. I used to ride over Harrisonburg anywhere when you drove a team in. But now I couldn't find my way.
Was the streets paved or just dirt?
Oh, there were paved streets.
And how long would you spend in Harrisonburg? What did you do when you got? How long would it take to load up?
We went there and get out together, got our load of goods, and then we go to the delivery stable and put up for the night.
And you spend one night in Harrisonburg.
Yeah.
And then you leave out early the next morning and
come out back to the foot of Shenandoah Mountain and Briar Branch and camp.
And you camp in Briar Branch.
Yeah.
And then the next day you would make it home?
Yeah, the next day we come across the mountains up in the Cold Spring. I should have known.
Did you ever have any problems with your horses when you was traveling?
He used to, several times I got sick on us.
What would you do then?
Well, we usually would have a little medicine along and give them some medicine of some kind.
And then when your father died, he died with typhoid fever?
Yeah.
And then what did you do? You left the farm?
I left the farm and I went to North River to work in the barkwoods. Eagle Bark.
And how long did you work there?
I worked there a couple of months as long as bark season lasted.
Who went with you? Who'd you work for?
I worked for Harry Hubble. Minor Extra was a boyfriend of mine. Him and me went there together. We had to walk, or we walked over there to get work and back. We had to walk about 25 miles before we got to the place to get to work.
And what did they pay you per hour?
I got $1 a day.
You got $1 a day.
Yeah.
And did they furnish your food?
Yes. They furnished your food and a place to sleep.
And then when you finished peeling bark and come back home, you stay on the farm then?
So for a while I helped do the farm work at home, but I left the farm at home and went to North Fork to work on the farm for old man John McClure.
And who'd you work with there?
Ike Bowers.
Ike Bears?
Yeah.
Uh,
Ike Bowers and his wife was running the place, and the farm there. And Ike's wife and me was raising up together in the same home.
what type of farming did you do over there? What did you raise? And
Raised, we made hay and raised corn and wheat.
how did you cut your corn and wheat? By hand?
Yes. Because everything's done with team, there was no tractors. Had about half a dozen teams on the farm.
Did you drive the teams?
Yes, I worked the team all the time on the farm.
What time would you start in the mornings?
Oh, just as hot after daylight. So much as you can see you got out to work.
And how late would you work in the evening?
Well, I worked till pretty late, especially in hay time.
And then when you left North Fork on the farm, you come back to your home again?
Yeah,
And you worked on the farm then for quite a while at your home?
yeah.
You had brothers.
I had two brothers.
What was the name of your brothers?
Clem and Ed.
And you had sisters also. And could you tell me their names?
I had them and Ed, the Forge.
And they were all at home at this time, right?
Yes, I stayed home to help the city get their made up. I was only 16 years old when my father died.
Which was the oldest in your family of the brothers?
Clem?
And then you were next?
Yes.
And Ed was next in.
Well, the brothers, yes, but the next one was my sister was Florence. Florence was my oldest sister that I had.
Which one was the youngest?
Edna.
And she died with cancer several years ago.
Yes.
So the ones that are living on this day of July the 4th, 1976 are Ida, Eva, and you. And the rest of that have passed away are Clem and Ed, Florence, and Edna.
Yeah. And my mother. And my grandmother used to live with us too.
And what was her name?
Amanda Mitchell.
And who did she marry?
She had married Jeremiah Mitchell.
And where are they buried at? They buried on top of the mountain up here?
No, they buried out in the field, down in the meadow down there.
How old was your father when he died?
He was 69 years old, I think.